parameter on the global scope. And that's, if you go to a like more um, standardized machine learning
Why?
train.py
Why?
file, you will find
Why?
like
Let's just do
probably a
this.
configuration manager like
Put that on.
Hydra, or if you go to Google repos, it probably will be MLF collections, or even a simple name server, or even a dictionary. But here, every single parameter lives in this spot, like in the global scope. And this is like a design
All
decision that
right.
you may agree or not, but it simplifies your
Baby
life
boy
because you
is
are not
tripping,
calling like
and I think I'm
config.batch
here.
size,
So I'm
config.vtype.
just
You're
going to
just
try
calling
to
the
catch up on
parameters.
what they're doing right now.
And then
And I'll
he
put links in the
overrides
chat.
whatever
But
you
this is
gave him, but
the
executing the configurator.py.
this is
This is also a very weird file. It's
training
basically overriding the
a
global scope.
GPT with
Yeah,
nanoGPT being hosted by
you
Weights and
got the
Biases, and
library.
I'm gonna
Super
arrange a
simple.
couple
This
things,
is
but
super straight.
this is what we are
So
working on
basically, you can
today.
go and you can override parameters by passing um, the yeah the arguments to the like a command line interface. So yeah, so if you go to train.py, you have all these parameters. So basically, you are giving him like, where do you want to save them all checkpoint, evaluation, every how many steps you want to do evaluation, like when are you logging stuff to weights and biases, how many evaluation iterations you want to do. Yeah, if you want to use weights and biases or not, like, oh, this should be true by default, but it's not. um, the name of the project you want to save to weights and biases. OWT stands for Open Web Text. The name of the run name, you can put another name if you want. Uh,
Again, me, can we
hmm?
zoom in a bit more
Yeah, I can.
to see more?
I will not have more space on my screen, but
Yeah, but that's a lot better. Thank you.
yeah, okay. So yeah, those are parameters of like it's using W. So learning rate, like total number of training iterations, and then some like system, like if you want to use DDP, this is for multiple GPUs. So all this code works on like a pod of 8 GPUs or even in multiple nodes. So this is really cool. This is super scalable training code. Default is bfloat, as I was telling you, and default is using compile, so you will need PyTorch 2.0, and it makes like them all 30% faster. And then like configuration override and like setting up the DDP. This is kind of verbosy. Yeah, you need to set up like stuff to how to like deal with multiple GPUs. And then I really like this, but it's also very, very non-standard. Um, Basically, in every PyTorch machine learning pipeline, you will see this like dataset creation, and then like a data loader, and then like a train data loader, validation data loader, and then you will sample from the train data loader, run evaluation on the validation data loader. But here's not doing any of that, because basically when you read text, text is already something you can scroll. You only need to tokenize it, and that's it. And this thing is already tokenized, so you don't need any of that. Let me just put that on. Okay, so what he's doing here, he's basically reading the data set and loading that on a numpy mem map. Numpy mem maps are memory arrays that are not read to RAM. So you can read stuff that don't fit in your RAM. So it will be you will be reading when you are indexing, as you are indexing on the array. So this is a pretty efficient and fast way of
Welcome,
loading
y'all.
arrays. So this is
Welcome,
loading
welcome,
the full data
welcome.
set,
They
but
kind of
without,
sort of
like,
just
it's a
getting
lazy
started. So
load.
if y'all want to hang
So
out and
then
learn
he will
about how to
go and
train
just like
GPT with me,
slice blocks of
feel
block
free.
size,
But
basically like
welcome,
chunks of
everybody.
text
It's
tokenized,
day
and just
25 of 100 Days
slicing
of
them
Code.
with a rolling window, and that's it. That's your data loader basically.
Thank you for the
And then
raid,
he will stack
Finite.
them,
How was your
and then you will get a
stream?
batch.
I don't want to talk
So
over them too
this,
much, but I
as he put
appreciate
it
y'all.
here, is
Welcome
like
in, everybody.
Kurzman's data loader, but it works. Like, you don't actually need an actual PyTorch data loader for this. Um, cool. Then okay, then more
Yeah,
loading. Yeah, what
I
type of
am
ini do you want?
transitioning from software engineering to
Create a
machine learning
config.
engineering.
So
So
the only thing
this
that
is
doesn't live in
my
this
100 days of
file
code
is
is my
actually
way
the
to
model. The
transition.
model itself lives in mol.py
Raid
here.
and run, no worries, no
Um,
worries. But thank you. Welcome everybody.
where's mol.py? Here. And mol.py. So I'm not gonna go.
So yeah, and my baby boy is like kind of wild right now. But for the record, I'll make this bigger again. I was just trying to grab some links out the chat. For the record, I am a software engineer. I am learning machine learning. I'm getting more into machine learning right now. So yes, 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 yes. I'll reshare the links if anybody wants to follow this material.
Pretty good. And yeah, you can also initialize from OpenAI. So it's just doing GPT from pre-train. And I don't know if I can go here in the UI. No, this UI does not support like um, picking inside. But basically, that's like getting the checkpoint and like loading the model weights. So yeah, that's more stuff like create scalar. You need that when you're doing mixed precision, and yeah, optimizer stuff. And then like basically he has like an estimate loss function that will yeah compute the evaluation loss on train and validation. And then like he actually doesn't use the scheduler. He uses like a manually computed cosine and wire map scheduler here. And then if you decide to use weights and biases, it will actually create a weights and biases run. As I showed you before, this is the only thing you need to actually tell weights and biases, hey, we are doing an experiment here. So 1DB project, run name, this is something I added. So job type, maybe it's a good idea to keep this as train because we also have like sampling from the model. That's another different job type. And you pass the config, all the stuff that lives on the global scope here. And then you start training. Basically, you while true, while the number of iterations is lower than the total number of iterations. This is a standard training loop. Basically, estimate the losses. And yeah, if you are using weights and biases, you log the values. So we are logging the training loss, the validation loss, the learning rate. And this is like a floating computation. How good are we using the GPU, basically? And yeah, other more small details here, micro steps. If you're doing grading accumulation, this is more for distributed.
Voice of
If you
Grog,
are
thank you
using
for the
grading
follow. And I
keeping.
put the links to this
So
event and
as this
their
comes from the cooperative
repo
itself, like this is
into the chat
a
as
broader
well.
state of
So
the art kind
I'm
of
about to pull up the repo
training
and I'm going to swap the
GPT
screens
with
over
all the
so
tricks.
I
He
can
shared a lot
show.
of these tricks
I'm
on
going to be
Twitter
trying to follow
about
along with
like
this.
scaling laws, and he actually put a long book here about scaling laws and also like
But yeah, if anybody
good
has
ideas on how to
interest in
like
AI ML, that's
yeah
what we're all
multiples of
about over
eight
here
so the
right now.
GPU gets
And
really fast.
feel
He
free
put an
to throw stuff in the
I
chat
remember a tweet
because
about this on the
I
vocab
know
that
some
you
people
should
are probably
very
going to be
scale the
listening to what he's
vocab and
saying.
adjust to the next
I'm about to try
multiple
to
of
get this
eight, and this gives you like a pretty big
I'm about to try to get
performance
this repo
boost.
though.
Um, and at the end, yeah, this is something I added. You could log the model checkpoint to weights and biases to keep the model
I
next to the
lost my
run
screen. Why did I do
data,
that?
but don't do that probably because the checkpoint weighs 20 gigabytes. So yeah, you get 100 gigabytes for free in weights and biases for your personal use case. So if you log 5 of those, you are out of storage.
Okay.
So maybe for the smaller GPT, I think the smaller
There we
GPTs
go.
are like
There
2
we go.
gigabytes, 150 million
Oh,
parameters.
y'all,
Maybe for those
it's a
actually
crazy day today. I
pixels
literally
and
just finished the
probably shouldn't be.
podcast and then swapped over to this,
And
but it's all
yeah,
good.
and once you have like run this, you will have to configure it. So he built some of the configurations, and as I said before, he's not using any configuration tool. He's basically dumping the config on a Python file, and that has advantages and disadvantages. But for me, the greatest advantage is you see like train Shakespeare chart. This is the first example he gives. This is Python, so you can actually do some small computations on the configuration that you
Right
cannot
now,
do
he's
in
just
Hydra
talking
with the
through the
JSON files.
repository.
Or
So
on MLconfig, you can
we
do it,
haven't
but
gotten
it's
into
like,
like the
yeah,
hands-on
it's
part, I
not
guess. So
straightforward.
we
Here,
should
it's
be able
like
to follow
you can do whatever you
along
want, like
if you're
computing
just
string
now
type
joining.
and put that into a parameter. I don't know if there's more questions. We're gonna run this. So this,
No questions at this point. The code for this has been shared in the chat, which is a link to
yeah, it's basically
and
if you Google like
yes.
nanoGPT, you will get to the repo straight away. It has like 12,000 stars on GitHub. So
And as a reminder,
Fancy.
we're gonna make the recording available, plus the links.
21
So
stars. Okay.
yeah, so you can rewatch at your own pace if you want to retry it. But yeah,
Beautiful.
we're keep the questions coming. Back over to you, Thomas.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm packing a lot of content. Like this is it's not as a big repo, but has a lot of like stuff going on. Um, so there's a lot of engineering here, like details about like how to train a model and enable the script to do DTP or multi-GP, multi-node training, and a lot of like techniques of gradient accumulation and computations. And actually, you should watch like Kapadi's lecture on this. So Shakespeare char is this model that produces a super simple GPT that's next chart to prediction. And this model trains fairly quickly. So as you can see here, I'm running something. I'm actually training the big model, but I'm gonna kill it because
I'm trying to see, should I
it's not
copy
it's
all
going
the
nowhere. I
branches
was
or
just gonna like
just
trying to make
master?
it work, but it's yeah, you need a big 8 GPU node. I only have one here. So yeah, he gives you the configurations for all the stuff you can run. So I have run these three train Shakespeare char.
Fix
So
it. Thank you
this
for
is
the
training
follow
from
as
scratch. So you
well.
start from
Welcome, welcome,
random
welcome.
weights, and then like you take the Shakespeare data set, 1 million token, um, and then you train them all to predict the next character. So it's not actually using tick
All
token.
right,
It's
we'll
just
see you
like
again when you come
next
back.
character's
Fix it.
prediction, and and you use a baby
I'm
GPT
here every
model,
day.
like number of layers equals six head, small embeddings, some dropout, and yeah, you put up kind of a high learning rate, and you train this. So how do you do that? Basically, what you would do here, it's you will let's wait for wait analysis to finish here. Yeah, let me just see if the GPU is available now. Yeah, this should be good. Okay,
I
I'm
hope they
training
go
here
back into the whole
before we
platform because
kill the.
I don't have I think I have a weights and biases
So
account, but I
yeah,
don't think I have
the
it set
idea
up.
here is that you can just run Python train and you can pass the config. So here we will need to pass this config. So how do you do that? You will pass config slash, in this case is train Shakespeare char. This will tell like the train.py file to override only the parameters that are here in the config. Everything else will be default. So yeah, 1db log is off. We can turn it on here, or you can override via terminal here using 1db log equals true. It's equivalent to doing that. So if you do that, this will run this model. So it has 10.65 million parameters, pretty small model, 65 bucket size, because basically you have like 26 lowercase, 26 uppercase, some symbols, and special tokens for like dot, comma, whatever. And yeah, this will train them all for 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 I don't know how many. Let me check here. Um, 5,000 iterations, and it will learning rate is that, and it will log eval every 200 iterations, and then no every 250 iterations, and then like log um, not too often. So it's printing every 10, as you can see. So this will create a weights and biases run. Like as you can see, when you launch the code, it will weights and biases is very verbosy, kind of take over your terminal. So it's telling you like, hey, I'm currently log as me, and I have created a run for you, and the run already lives in the browser. So you can click on that link to go to the project or to this run specific run. So if we click that, um, we get redirected to the workspace, and in the workspace you start to see that the metrics are being piped. So this is really cool. You can see the validation loss going down, the learning rate
So
still going down. Like it's like a cosine, like um, ramp and
I think the
cosine. So
presenter's name is
yeah, we can
Jeremy.
see the
He
GPU
is a
power.
machine
Yeah,
learning
we don't have
engineer at
many
Weights and
points
Biases.
yet, but this will be populating. And yeah, we are keeping track of everything that's happening in this run. So um, I don't know where's our
Yeah, so
code.
he's a machine learning engineer at Weights and Biases, and then Weights and Biases is a
I do that.
AI like
Oh, okay,
training
it's here.
and development
So let me put
platform,
that back. So
kind of like
this
a
will run
software
for
platform for
5,000 iterations. It's
AI.
pretty fast, actually. If this, I'm using an A100 here. You
I
can
haven't
maybe
gotten a
tweak
chance
some
to
of the
make
parameters
make
here, like the
anything or
batch
train
size
anything
or
through it. I've been
what
wanting
byte
to,
size are we
so
using here? 64. So yeah,
yeah.
you will try to. I'm using NVIDIA SMI here to check that we're using all the. As you can see, I'm using only 3 gigabytes of my 41 gigabytes of memory. So we can probably increase the batch size. But I suppose this example, it's runnable on a consumer grade GPU, like an integrated graphics on a laptop, or even like on an M1 equipped MacBook Pro. So yeah, this will give you a model that's pretty basic, but it's a good idea. Start doing that to check if everything's working. So yeah, this is training, and we can go back here and we can see that the training, yeah, the quick start here actually suggests to do exactly what we're doing here. And yeah, you have to prepare the data set. I already did that all for the other data set, and it basically tokenizes and saves them as like memory arrays. And you get this train bean, val bean. Actually, if you want to do the web data set, the open web text, it takes like, I don't know, a couple of like an hour to prepare the data set. So it's good to do that offline, maybe on a machine without a GPU, so you're not burning your credits. And yeah, this takes about like 3 minutes. I'm using an A100, so kind of the same. And what happened when you do that is it actually creates a folder for you. So let me go here. It creates a folder here, out Shakespeare char, and it's pretty minimalistic, but it gets you the mall checkpoint. That's everything you need to run the mall afterwards. So this is your train mall. So this finished. Let me just open. I should probably put that guy into another window here. So yeah, it finished training. Let me reload this window, and we get that. Yeah, the learning rate scheduler finished doing it. Like we get the full cosine, beautiful shape, and yeah, validation loss went down. But as you can see here, these are only training metrics and validation. We don't have any text. Like we want to see how the model performs. So you can actually do that by executing the um, the sample.py file. So let's take a look at this file quickly. So sample.py, it's kind of the same style, global scope stuff here, same Boersman's configuration. So yeah, it can start from a file. So if you give them all a file, so you give them all you give a mol file to this code, you can load the mol weights and then sample from the mol. And like the sample happens here, so you are calling mol generate, passing and starting token, and then like sampling from the mol for a number of tokens. So max new tokens. So the default max new tokens, I think, is like 500 tokens, and the starting word is like like a new line. He will generate the rest. Um, I'm not saying ChatGPT is as simple as this, but it's the same type of model, like next token prediction model, auto-regressive way. So yeah, we can use this file and we can actually pass that. Let me clear here. So we can use Python sample.py, and we should be able to pass the mol. So out Shakespeare, I think that should be it. Oh no, I need to pass the mol checkpoint. So that guy. What happened here? We're going to sample from the mol. Let me put this bigger. It takes some time here. Come on. Oh, my bad. No, I need to pass the out there. It's explicit. Yeah, this is the poor man's configuration. It needs like
He's like
it
Control C,
needs like
Control C, Control C. It's
explicit
not working.
keyword arguments. So it's Python sample.py out there, and you passed. Let me just check. I'm not doing it wrong. Yeah, you passed. That's what I was expecting, to pass only the directory out Shakespeare char. So if we do that, it should work. So it's loading them all, and it's sampling. So basically you get 5 samples. I think that's the default here. So it's asking them all to generate 500 tokens starting from that token 5 times. I don't think this is num samples. I don't think this guy is a parameter here. Um, yeah, num sample is 10. Sorry, it's 10. So we get 10 generations here. As you can see, this is not bad, but it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, what I have added here, that if when you sample from a model like this, and yeah, you track your experiments and you want to keep track, what I would really like, but this is because I work for weights and biases, but what I would really like here, it's having the metrics with the model predictions in the same place. So what I did is, something I encourage you to do is I added something here. So I had the same parameter as before, 1db underscore log. And if I use 1db score log, what's going to happen here is that I'm going to create a new run. So this sampling, it's also an experiment, so it's also a run. And it will create a table. And in the table, I would put the model name, what model I'm sampling from, what the start of the sequence I'm using. In this case, is like nothing, basically an empty line, and the actual sample generated. So then I can play with this, generate more samples, and I can store them on the central place and see like, oh, this model was sampling like this. And then if I train more, I can maybe sample more from the model and see if it's sampling better or not. So you can do the same thing as before here. So
So a thing about weights
I
and
do that
biases
and
is,
call 1db underscore
in
log
addition
here,
to being able to train
GPT
your
here.
models, they have other features like being able
And
to have like keep a version
I'm going to
history
just give
of
you the gist
training.
here. As simple as creating a table, you put what columns you want to put in, the names of the columns, and then you add the data like row by row to the table. So I'm table I data. So I'm putting it, that's the model name. That's where the checkpoint is storing the model name, the start token, and the decoded tokens. So the same predictions I'm generating here are being uploaded to the same workspace where this model was trained. So let's wait to the end. Weights and biases is pretty friendly and gives me a link at the end, so I can click that link and get redirected to the workspace and see what happened here. So yeah, we get this link. Let me open that. And this new run, it's not training, but it's a sampling, and we get this nice table render on the UI. So yeah, start is empty because I'm using empty line. But I encourage you to put something more interesting here, like I don't know, a phrase. So we are sampling from the model name checkpick char, and we get like the previews, like the strings here. We can open this and see them bigger in plain text. You can actually render them as Markdown, but this is not Markdown, so it's basically plain text. So if we run this more, what's great is that weights and biases know like, oh, you're logging the same table again, so it will like concat them. So you will have like all the model predictions. If you rerun this multiple times, you will have them centralized at the project level. So yeah, here we are. So I have already run a bunch of these experiments, so you don't have to. So as you can see, I ran this 2 times. So now we have 10 plus 10. So the tables get concatenated. And let's do something cool. Let's sample from the other model now. Oh yeah, I'm bad with full screen here. I should put that guy in a full screen and this guy in another full screen. There we go. So yeah, I already trained the other model. So if we go here and nanoGPT, let me go back here. This is the first example. The second example he proposes is not training from scratch. So it's taking a pre-trained GPT-2 model on English, actually the OpenAI pre-trained model on web text, and then
Oh, I
fine-tuning on
almost lost my
checkpoint. So
contact.
that's a way easier task and a better approach. Like probably if you're going to use this model for your own data, you will not start from scratch. You will grab a pre-trained model and then like fine-tune. So we use the same training script, but we pass a different config. And basically this config has, yeah, as you can see,
Wait,
a
so
lot of
is he
like
basically
options
walking
here.
through
But this is if you want to run on a MacBook. Like I have a big GPU, so I
this
don't need one of
README?
those. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna run it once so you can see what I'm doing here. So we go back to our training script and do that by hand.
We about to train this week.
Bye.
Y'all don't
So
even
we
know.
pass the
I'm
config. So
excited.
in our case, it's config slash Shakespeare.
It's time to work on a
Let's
project
see here.
anyway.
It's not called Shakespeare. No, it's called fine tune. So we want to inject this config, fine tune Shakespeare. So yeah, here, as we are grabbing a fine tune model, we can grab the biggest one. So let's grab the 1.6 billion parameter GPT-2 XL, and that's why you will need a big GPU. So fine tune here, Shakespeare.py, and also you can actually use weights and biases here. So 1 GB
I really want to turn my
log equals
PC on
true,
too,
and let's try to make that
so
run.
I
This is
can
actually faster than training from
see
scratch,
some other stuff.
because we only need to train a little bit the model with a really small learning rate, and we don't want to like destroy the capabilities of the pre-trained model. We just want to inject this, like align the model with Shakespeare, and we're going to do that. So yeah, this takes longer to load. It's loading a 20 gigabyte checkpoint
I'll
file.
be right back. I'm gonna grab
So
my
it's loading a pre-trained model that
keyboard
I think it downloads that.
for my
I can show
PC
you
and my
where it
mouse.
happens. Basically, it's on the model file. Here you have something called from pre-trained, generate, estimate MFU, like configure devices. Here, from pre-trained, and it's basically like if you want Excel, it's creating the 1.6 billion parameter model, like 48 layers, 25 attention heads, big dimension, embedding dimension, and then it's like, yeah, downloading that from Hugging Face basically. So Hugging Face put all these like API that enables us to actually download models pretty easily. So yeah, it compiled the model, it fuses some stuff, make everything faster, 1.6 billion parameters, and it started our weights and biases run. So yeah, let's see how long it takes. If I don't remember, I think it takes like 1 minute. It says somewhere. No. I know it takes 3 minutes also. It's like equivalent to the other one. But the results, of course, are quite better. Like we are not starting from anything. So it's training there. This is like the first step, like just getting the initial loss values. And I really like to see here NVIDIA SMI. This is the big model I will use. Like I think everything is tuned for this GPU, so you will get like maximum memory usage here. But actually, you can check that here. Like if we go and we open that guy, we don't need to do that actually. We can go to the workspace. This is the workspace of the project, nanoGPT, and we see that the new run is coming. Like fine tune Shakespeare here, and still not much data. It's still only one step here, but yeah, the data will flow once the model start training here.
Hello, Thomas. There was one question by Sebastian. How did you use GPT-2? And I believe he was from Chile, if I remember correctly. So,
Cool.
fellow compatriot.
Okay, here, how do you use GPT-2? Basically, you have multiple ways of using GPT-2 now. Like you have GPT-2 built in transformers, probably the easiest way to get a GPT-2 up and running. This is like a bare bones implementation of GPT-2. If you go to the mol.py file, when he loads the weights, he basically has to like do some tricks, not tricks, but renaming some layers so he can override everything from the checkpoint that he's getting from the, so make the keys match. Like a model weights is basically a dictionary. You have like layers with names and tensors, and you have to match them. So when you download something and then you try to load that into, you download a checkpoint and you try to load that into a model that's created from scratch on PyTorch, you will need to make that match, like the keys with the values. So he does some of that. And yeah, probably you want to do that. It's going to be easier, like GPT-2 from pre-train, and you're good to go. But this is like an educational repo. So he actually does it by hand here, like goes and checks the keys, rename them, and yeah, transpose some stuff, like because naming is not always the same. And now this thing is training. So how many epochs are we going to train on? We can check here, fine tune. It's going to train for 20 iterations. So there's no concept of epoch here. It's like iterations wise.
Sebastian says thank you. And then we had another one by Ron asking, what would be different for fine tuning on different tasks like Q&A or summarization or chats, etc.?
Mm.
Yeah, okay. GPT uh, GIST is pre-training. So this is like a super kind of dumb idea, but that works super well. Like you're just predicting next token and pre-training on insanely big corpus of text, and you get a model that is capable of basically only doing that, predicting the next token. And so when you have these like summarization models or even like the chat models, they have other steps afterwards. Like they pre-train and then like they create a curated data set of questions. That's all what have been happening in the recent months about people releasing data sets or even using GPT-4 to create
Fine
data
tuning,
sets to
fine
train
tuning.
Alpaca or other LLMs. So yeah, you need another layer of training after this pre-training. So you must see this as like this is a pre-training task that is already pretty good. Um, you can actually use these models straight away. You try GPT-2 to generate code or generate all this stuff. You will realize that it's actually pretty capable. Um, but to get this finer, more instruction based and aligned models, you need reinforcement learning or other secret sauce that
Hmm.
probably we are not aware of. Like
Another one from Atharva, one of our friends and ambassadors.
To his
What do
oh
you
no,
prefer, epoch-based or
I lost the
iteration-based
camera.
training?
I think for this big corpus, it makes more sense iteration based. And there was a recent paper I saw that yesterday maybe about this about how many times you should actually show the models the data. And there's like
There we go.
there's trades off. Like if you start like doing epoch, and when epoch is like I show you the model once the full data set, two epochs twice. So it depends. Like if you have really small data set, maybe you can show that a lot of times. If you had a lot of data, maybe I don't know. Like I'm not an expert on that, but there's a lot of literature research into that topic. How many times you should showcase them all the same data? At what time you get diminishing returns, and maybe it's better getting
I
more
was gonna
data
say
sets
when
than
he was
showing
talking
them all the
about
same
the
data. Um,
he was talking about how the
you
GPT
don't really
models are
need to
trained and then
feed
the
that.
data sets and like
What is
the
it
layers.
feeding
We
exactly? Because
watched
it's validation loss going up.
the State of
I don't know. Like
GPT from
it's a complicated
Microsoft
topic.
yesterday, the day before yesterday, something like that,
There's
and
one
it was
more
really
from
helpful.
Sharia.
So I'm gonna post a link to the
Generally, LLMs
playlist for
can take
that as
only
well
in
if
one
anybody wants to watch
token.
that.
So, how do large models like ChatGPT maintain chat conversation? Like, suppose I've surpassed a token limit while considering the previous chat information as input tokens, then how can I get outputs since the limit is surpassed already in taking the inputs?
Yeah, I realize a lot of people think that ChatGPT is different than this, but it's the same thing. Basically, the model spits out the next token. So even if you're asking questions and answers, everything gets stuffed and sent to the model, and the model will predict the next token. And it will predict until it predicts the end token. So that's the end of your answer. So at some point, the model has 4K tokens, and this thing starts to pile up. So um, you can think of this as that as long as you go down in the conversation, every single call to the model is more expensive because you are sending the full past of your conversation. And this become obvious when you use the models on API. I suppose most of the people here have used them all on the chat GPT interface, but you can actually use GPT-4 on the API by doing requests to the mall API endpoint. And then when you do that and you create your own chat, you need to stuff the previous messages in the next conversation back and forth. So at some point, the previous messages don't fit in the context length, and you need to cut, and you start cutting. So the model actually starts forgetting because he has not memory, but you are not sending the beginning of the conversation because it doesn't fit. So try that. Like speak a lot with ChatGPT 4, and like at some point it will just forget what you said at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how it is. Like now we have like Anthropic model that has 100K tokens. That's like 50 pages of text. And there's a lot of tools. Like LangChain has some tools to like compact your previous messages and send them, so you can like compress the context. um, yeah, the models, ChatGPT is the same as GPT-2 here, like predicts next token. So at some point it doesn't fit, it throws that away.
Awesome. We have 4 more minutes. So if
So
there's
this,
anything else you wanted to cover,
I thought they
that's
went
up to
till
you.
2:30
yeah, so
today.
this thing finished training. I'm just gonna sample from that model quickly, and we can sample um, from this model. So it's the model checkpoint is here, out Shakespeare, Shakespeare, and we can also call 1GB log equals true. And this model is better. Like this model already knows how to speak English correctly, and after some fine tuning on Shakespeare, um, yeah, we should be able to see that on the workspace. But that's basically the gist of this like nano GPT introduction. This is a well documented repo and super simple. So I encourage you to try it. Maybe rent a GPU for a couple of hours and try this. Just to give you an idea, like I spent $35 on this and have been running for 35 hours basically. So it's 1 hour, $1 per hour.
That's
Plenty of
crazy,
time to
y'all.
try stuff, train. I actually tried to train the big model
I thought
here.
weights and biases was in our
So
AI ML
this one
community
is the latest
announcements, but I'm
running.
gonna add them
Yeah,
to
and I
that
trained for like, I don't
channel
know,
in the server.
30,000 steps. Still missing. It's 600,000 the total. So yeah, pretty early. So encourage you to try this, play with it, use weights and biases. So as you can see, I can keep track of everything single call I did to this nano GPT repo. The tables keep piling up. So this is the latest table I constructed. It's not yet there because probably it hasn't finished. Yeah, it's still computing samples. So yeah, this looks like good English actually. So so let's take a look. So yeah, I have 3 final slides here I want to present to you. So yeah, that's the repo. We are building a lot of content on LLMs now. Right now, we are actually creating a course on fine-tuning best practices. We have, as I show you, a lot of customers that use weights and biases on train LLMs. So we are gonna try to share with you the best recipes we can we can actually share with you, and that enables you to train models with state-of-the-art practices. This will come live really soon, and you can pre-register right now.
WAP.me.
And we are doing this fully connected event in San Francisco. If you are in San Francisco,
I'm so
I
mad I can't
really
go to that.
really recommend to go. And we are giving tickets on our Discord channel, reduction, and it's actually a really nice conference with good speakers. Actually, we have LangChain creator coming and Harrison Chase, so LLMs will be a hot topic there. And yeah, we have a web page that wraps up everything we're doing on LLMs. It's 1db.me/LLMs. And we have a Discord. I'm active there, and you can ping me and we can discuss if there are more questions. Please take this repo, run it, and try to find ways of using it. And if you find a way of like using it for a real application, I will be really interested to know. So I think that's all for me. Let me see if it will load. And this model is way longer to sample from. Not yet, still sampling. Yeah, we're still sampling here. No, it just done it. So yeah, I'm gonna link that. I'm gonna put that repo, the workspace public, so you can go here to my project and check what I did. Thank you everyone, and see you soon in the next event.
Yeah, thanks so much, Thomas. I see that people are asking about Fully Connected. It's not going to be live streamed, but we are going to record the keynotes. And spoiler, we're going to launch a couple of new products. So definitely something you will want to keep an eye on. And we do a lot of other virtual events. So we would love to see you. At any of our other workshops, webinars, or hopefully also some of the meetups that we're running in some cities of the world. And for the time being, we'd love to meet you in our Discord, as Thomas shared. We have Thomas there, all our other machine learning engineers. Thanks so much for taking the time. All the resources will be shared, and talk to you soon. Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
This thing on camera is not gonna get on my nerves today. I know that much. All right. So, yeah, okay, that's fine. I thought it was supposed to be for like 30 more minutes, but that's all good. That gives me a little bit of buffer time because I do have some meetings this afternoon. But let's see. They shared a few links that here, let me see because I do got the live stream up here. Can I go back real quick? And then let me put I need to put my stuff over here so I can see what I'm doing. So here's the repo. Put some music on. And yeah, because I know there's like a lot of people that are new to the stream today. So my interest is NLP, or natural language processing, and large language models is like one of the big things I'm learning about right now. So I pretty much follow anything that looks like, if it's NLP or LLM related, then I'm most likely going to be looking into it. Okay, so I got one of the links. Let me turn the music on too. Let's see, let's see, let's see. Okay, yeah, I have a meeting at 2:30, so I got a little bit of time. Um, Here, let me turn this down before I blast y'all with some music. I don't want to blow nobody eardrums out. Okay, so we got the mood music now. But yeah, first of all, let me take a step back. That was a little bit of a whirlwind for me personally, but it's all good. I literally was having the podcast live stream. That wasn't that I was having technical difficulties with that, so I get to hear how that was going. I don't know. I hope it was good for y'all though. If anybody was listening in on that. And then I was a few minutes late to catching this because it started at 1 o'clock, but they're going to send the recording out, so I'm going to probably go back and watch the recording. Actually, if they send the recording out today, I'll either do it today or tomorrow, because I don't know if I'm gonna come back to live stream to like a third live stream today, because that's a lot. But if not, I'm definitely going to come back and try to actually go through the nanoGPT stuff tomorrow. But I wanted to grab some of the URLs and share those. And if you are new here, then here's something we've been working on. This is in my way. Okay. Yeah, see, I've been cleaning up today because I'm about to put my new desk setup together, and like the struggles I'm having right now with like 2 computers and trying to run all kind of different live streams in the same day is exactly why I need to get all my stuff set up. But hold on, it came up on the wrong screen, so we're gonna bring it over here. But I have been creating like a resource center, AI ML resource center in Notion, and this is the hub. It's not very pretty right now, and I still have a lot of stuff to do. But if you could see in my to-do list, I actually checked it off because yesterday I did technically officially share it, and I just haven't like posted about it or anything like that because I do want to clean it up a little bit and get some other resources in here, and also get some I guess I want to get some contact info for me, and also if people want to like submit anything that can be added here. But one thing, for example, that I'm going to probably be adding is the training and fine tuning LLMs. which is going to be, I'm assuming it's HTTPS w&b.me/LLM course. Okay, so I'll come back to this one, but what I usually do for these is all of these courses that are here are actually also hosted by AI companies that either do training or they might have libraries or things. So these are all courses. Like we're doing Fast AI's course right now. I need to add a Hugging Face course in here because I'm doing Hugging Face next. But lightning.ai is another tool. Cohere, I don't think they're Cohere.ai, but Cohere is an AI company, and or ML company, however they want to call themselves. And then this one is going to be hosted by Weights and Biases. So I'm gathering those here slowly but surely. But I was just going to say what I usually do is you'll see like for each of the courses, I basically take whatever's on the main course page and add that to the description. So if you're browsing through here and you want to see what a course is about, you can see exactly what's on the main course page. And then if you want to learn more, obviously, then the URL is included in the event or in the course link. So I added theirs. I think he said this isn't live yet. Oh, it's on pre-order right now. So I want to see. Now, for the record, the fact that it says pre-order makes me a little bit nervous, but it should be free, right? I'm assuming it would be free. And it looks like when you click on the URL at the bottom, it says ET equals free as one of the URL params. So I'm hoping it's free. All these other courses are free. So anyways, it says it's free. I would gladly add this into my learning process because I think the Hugging Face course is the one I'm going to do next. That one is also LLMs, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, so we have that now. So I'll come back later and get the event descriptions. The other URL they gave us was... Dang it. Let me see. I'm going to try to get the other... Okay, here we go. wmb.me/LLMs. So this is just I think this is more of their specific tooling. But that was the other link that they provided. Okay, so we got that. What else? But yeah, this is shared right now. It's just shared in the AI ML channel in Discord, and then eventually I will, not eventually, but probably this weekend I will be kind of cleaning it up some more, and then I'm gonna like post about it and stuff like that. And then I'll get a link to it, so I'm gonna put make a command for it so we can easily get it in the chats. So we got that. Yeah, so also this is one of the events that was on the calendar. So as I see events now, again, I'm specifically interested in NLP. Large language models is like one of the big things for me right now. So I usually, like, if I see something come across my LinkedIn feed, if I am interested in watching it or, participating, then I will usually, I'll sign up for it, but I'll also repost it on LinkedIn. But outside of that, I just wanted a way to share all these different events that's going on. So yeah, like I said, NLP and LLMs and stuff like that is specific to what I'm interested in, but I'm always open to anything else that other people want to think should be on this calendar. So whenever I have anything that I come across that looks interesting, I add it to this events calendar. So like fully connected, I don't think I put fully connected on here yet, but I'll put fully connected on here. So these are some of these are like in person. I also like the SF. This is another event. It is going to be in person, but they're going to stream 2 days of it. So I put different resources there for that. So yeah, you can come and check in on this calendar occasionally and just find other events like this. So here's the one that we had for today. So again, what all I typically do is get the description of the event, put the time in Eastern time, which I think should translate for you because I actually have a time zone chosen for it. And then I put the URL to the events. So hopefully that is helpful for people. And then we're filling out these pages. So these are some of the notes that I started from the State of GPT talk. That was one of the things I was mentioning earlier, because some people were asking, I guess in the event chat, some people were asking about how Chat GPT works. How does this, GPT and that GPT work? And how their training process goes. And the State of GPT that is a talk that Microsoft just did recently, like in the last week, and they posted it on their Microsoft developer channel. That gave a really, really, really good overview of just like at a high level how they approach GPT training, and then recommendations like to the industry on how you can approach that. So as I collect the notes and things on events or like the hearings, we were watching the congressional hearings about AI regulation. I usually keep those in here. So it's all kind of stuff, but I'm doing my best to organize it, and then I'll make it look pretty. But I want to make sure that people know that that is a resource. And again, I do have that pinned in the that's pinned in the AI ML channel in our Discord. So we got that. I'm gonna launch it. Like I'm gonna do like a more public sharing later on. So we got that. This is open source. Is this mostly educational, or is this like I'm because you know what I do, y'all know. So that's open source, right? Which means we can add this one to the open source gallery. Come on now. There we go. Repository. This is nanoGPT. I'm working on my patience today because it's been chaotic, but it's all good. It's all good. It's just when you be trying to get stuff going and you want it to go a certain way, and it kind of like goes a little haywire. I'm trying to go with the flow though. All right, so nanoGPT is here on the project list. This one doesn't have anything on it, does it? Yeah, so I'm gonna delete this one for now, just for cleanliness. And then if you this section here, this is an embedded page that you can actually go to and visit as well. But this is the guy who is compiling this page, he keeps track of all the different large language model or transformer based large language models And if you don't know what transformers are, I mean, it's a technical concept, but the T in GPT stands for transformers. So the transformer base, anything that's kind of based off transformers is included here. So that includes models, data sets, particular, and showing when particular models are trained on specific data sets as well. And then it has all of the different research papers. And again, you know, for me, because again, I know a lot of people are new, so I just have to give context. But for me, not only am I like starting with like, I guess, a practitioner type of experience as far as knowing how to train and understanding the tool set, but I am about to go back to school and I want to do research. I want to get a PhD. So it's important to me to understand like the practical side of it, but it's also important to me to like slowly be getting into more of the research and seeing how the industry is advancing, and starting to kind of prime my prime my brain and prime my thought process on that experience overall as well. So this is the area of research that I find particularly interesting right now. But you know, again, this is like something I want to share with other people as well. So if there's other general categories that's still within AI ML, like, you know, big broad categories that I can include here, feel free to give some feedback on that. But this was a resource. I don't know if there's another one like this for some other for some other research areas, but this one is really good. Like, it's really, really good. So I have that one embedded. So yeah, we're working on this. So I'm happy that I was able to make it to catch what I could from that talk, because my computer was not behaving today. But that's okay, because I actually was a little behind just because I started cleaning earlier. So I am about to get everything together. So hopefully by tomorrow's live stream, my whole new desk might be set up. I can't even lie, because I got time. I do have a couple meetings. I have one coming up in like 10 minutes, so I'm gonna be hopping off for that soon. I have one at 2:30, and then I have one until from 4 to 5. Yeah, so after 5 o'clock, since I did already stream today too, I could just kind of go in on my workspace and get that all set up, so it'll be a lot easier to manage a lot of these things. But it's all good, it's all gravy. And then I can show this really quickly as well for y'all know YouTube is my personal goal right now, which is why I go live on YouTube as well as Twitch. So if you feel like this type of content, either what I shared on the podcast, like helping to evolve your career in software, or want to follow my journey as far as transitioning into machine learning, then feel free to also subscribe to me on YouTube. And what I do on this homepage is, of course, obviously I have some stuff that's from my channel, but I also have extra videos and playlists and things that are, you know, helpful if you just kind of want a general area to look to continue to like learn more about what's going on in the field. So we have our ML AI videos that I recommend. So we are doing the fast.ai course right now. That's what I'm on for 100 days of code, hence the to-do list below. So this is the official playlist of all the videos that goes along with that course. Save there. AI Essentials is IBM's playlist, and I think IBM's technical videos are really, really good. So I put that there. And then this one is another one I want to get into, but it's the MIT deep learning material, and they just finished up their 2023 run of the course. So what I really love about the MIT deep learning course is that it stays relevant. They run it, pretty frequently, and in this playlist you can actually see all of the previous iterations of it as well. But it's so up to date to the point where I'm excited to actually watch this round that they just did this semester, because they're covering everything that's happening basically in the industry in real time. And it's, the Fast AI is literally from 2022, but still, so much has happened in the last 6 months. So those are there. So these are the original playlists, but then I do have a playlist here where right now I'm learning about transformers and what, the technical concepts that basically underlies a lot of the large language models right now. So any videos that I find helpful, I basically add them to this playlist. And then we have two industry playlists. So one is the news playlist and the other is tech talks basically. So some of these, basically everything that's here, we actually watched on live stream, but usually throughout the day and on the weekends and stuff, when I have extra time, I watch other videos, and so I add those. I have a spot to add those. So you can also check back into some of these playlists, or you can I think you can maybe, I don't know, if you save a playlist, can you see the changes to it over time? Because I was just gonna say, people can definitely, you can come back and check this page, but I mean, I'm curating these playlists, so if there's a way that it lets you follow the playlist, then feel free to do that as well. So those are there. Those are resources. Okay. Now, I was gonna say too, because a lot of people probably never heard of weights and biases. We found out about weights and biases on the stream back in February, I think. They had another event. They were talking about fully connected. They had another event called another fully connected event. I think it was technically the first one. And they did that one. Everything was virtual. Yeah, everything was virtual for that one. And that's how I found out about them, and I've been following them since then. But yeah, this is it's a training platform for ML, an ML ops platform. So it's kind of nice because there's different challenges that machine learning development faces that is not normal in the regular software development lifecycle. So there's new challenges to solve for when it comes to how you want to do the training overall, in production, and how do you maintain that over time. So I haven't seen a lot of other alternatives to this, not that they're not out there. If there's any that you all are familiar with, definitely let me know. But weights and biases is one of the biggest ones that I've seen so far, and I like their approach. So I just kind of follow them, and I haven't trained anything on the platform yet. So probably with the nanoGPT, when they send us the recordings tomorrow, if we had the recordings by tomorrow, I'll probably try to set that up through weights and biases and get something training and experiment with it. But I like and appreciate that they have different reporting, different metrics, and they also have different ideas such as versioning your training processes, or your training runs. So we use version control in software, and that's one thing, but usually we save here's the snapshot of my code base at this point in time. But when you do AI, it's different, right? Because you can have a snapshot of your actual code, but that still does not account for the fact that when you're doing different training runs, I don't know, it's other avenues or other aspects of the process that you want to be able to kind of track historically, what data set are you training on, what version of your data set are you training on, what different hyperparameters do you use for your training run, um, things like that. So that's one thing that I think his name, I said his name was Jeremy. I think his name was Thomas, but I think he was mentioning that at some point in the talk where he's like, he would like to be able to, we were looking at nanoGPT, right? He was like, he would like to be able to just like easily go back and say what kind of parameters he put into his config. Like, let's see. It wasn't in this file, it was in another file though. But yeah, basically he was saying like he wish he could more easily just like know exactly which parameters he had tweaked in a specific file, because that's a part of the training process. And so yeah, when you think about those types of things, that makes a big difference on the outcome of your model. And then also, like, if you deploy a model, do you know what data sets or what training runs or what parameters you already tried? Version control doesn't really do that for us. So there's a lot of other avenues basically that they kind of take into consideration when it comes to their platform. So I've been following them. And of course, we love Hugging Face. I keep saying we, but you know, feel free to speak out if I'm speaking for if I'm speaking for y'all. But I love Hugging Face. So we've done. He was saying that the model download was coming from Hugging Face, and if you haven't used Hugging Face before, you can do training on this platform. You can do you can host your models, deploy your models here as well, and then they have all these different models that are deployed here. So yeah, he was referencing them, but this is another one that people can look into as well. So and then I mentioned Hugging Face briefly earlier because, as I mentioned, they have an NLP course, which is the next thing that I'm going to do after we finish the deep learning with Fast AI. So we'll do deep learning and then NLP, and then I'll probably move to the LLM course by Weights and Biases if it's out by that time. So all good resources. I was gonna come here just because I should technically add the Hugging Face here because that's one I already know is on my radar. So I do appreciate everybody for being here. It was really, like I said, it was a whirlwind day. But I do feel like we got I got something accomplished anyway, and I appreciate the raids coming in and everything. So I wonder if we can, let's see if we can. Yes, we can go rate Pluralsight. So let's go say hi to the team over at Pluralsight. They have regular developer streams. Y'all know I love Pluralsight. I just came from an event with them back in March. So shout out to Pluralsight. It's also a good learning platform for you as well if you are interested in anything tech related. And I appreciate y'all. I'll see everybody again tomorrow. Or I'll see y'all in Discord, you know, for those that are hanging out. Bye, everybody.